Welcome to the Firehouse, the show dedicated to the brave men and women who serve our community.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7. I am your host, Chris Moses, and today, sitting with me in the Firehouse. Now, hold on, because before I even introduce him, right, I don't know what I should introduce him as. And I purposely waited till we were on air to actually ask this, right?
That's great.
I had to. I was like, I got to wait till we're on air. Because am I calling you Chris and it's Burkart, right?
Yeah.
Or am I calling you Christopher Burkart, or am I calling you what everybody knows, which is Lurch? What am I calling you?
You can do that.
My boy Lurch. What's good, man? We're going to talk about how you got that name. I mean, we kind of already
self-explanatory.
know, but I want to know where it came from, like who first started it, all right? But anyway, Lurch, please tell the audience who you are, what department, what company, how long you've been in, and how many ranks you've held.
Well, Chief Burkart, right now, second assistant chief. Will be first assistant in 2 months of the Freeport Fire Department.
Okay.
So held everything in my firehouse from second lieutenant all the way up to captain.
Okay.
Been on a bunch of committees, just trying to do what I can to
doing what
help
you
the
do.
department.
How many years?
15. So January 2010. So yeah, 15.
15 years.
Well,
I know you got some stories, man. I know you got some stories, and we're going to get into those stories. But first, let's get into the name, right? Now, of course, Lurch makes sense. We know Lurch is huge and tall at you. Right. But who was the first person to give you this name? Did it come from childhood, or this was a Firehouse name?
So Darnell will giggle at this one. Miho. Miho was the guy in my firehouse. His nickname was Miho. He got in. Everyone got a funny nickname. He had one guy, Brian Benora. He had red hair. He always liked to rap. We started calling him B-Rad, making fun of him. So Lurch was just, I had a couple. There was Melman from Madagascar with the tissue boxes. Yeah.
Melman.
Fire Marshal.
Big giraffe too.
Yep, with tissue boxes. That was my Halloween costume one year too. Walked in with tissue boxes on my feet. Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color.
That's right.
That was one. But then Lurch stuck.
Lurch stuck.
Yeah.
So that's what I know him as. I was introduced as Lurch. That's what I know. That is hilarious. All right, so just let's start from the beginning. Like, what makes you say you want to become a firefighter? Like, from the beginning, where does that start?
So my whole legacy thing. My grandfather was a 50-year member of Baldwin 203, Hose 3.
Okay.
My father was a member of emergency company in Freeport, the ambulance company.
Okay.
But truth be told, I was just 18 and bored, not really doing much. And my dad's like, well, you got to do something.
You got to do something, right?
The firehouse was a 2-minute drive from where I lived.
Okay.
One traffic light, which is nice responding to calls.
So you technically been at the firehouse your whole life, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Coming there, going there, and you never.
Christmas parties at my grandfather's.
Yeah.
Super Bowl parties at my dad's.
Yeah. So you're doing that, but you still was like,
to be honest, I just remember thinking, I was like, all right, I'm not really doing much. I'm just laying around. Like, I might as well lay around there and see what this is about.
See what this is about.
And then I fell in love.
Fell in love. That's how it does.
Even like when I joined, I didn't know anyone there for the most part. I knew like one kid I went to high school with, but we weren't friends. Like we're friends now, but like we weren't close or anything. But it was crazy. I just stuck around, met everyone, just fell in love with the place.
And so, have you been in the fires with any family? Like, have you?
Not blood, nothing blood.
Okay,
no. I guess it's me and my dad in the department, blood related. And like, so the guys in my firehouse I've known my whole life though. Like, I joined when I was 18. Convinced them to join when they turned 18. Mm-hmm. So we had like a big, nice crop coming in like 10 young guys all coming at the same time.
Yeah, that's dope. I love that. I love that. So you decide to join. Now you're in. You're a probie. You become a Black Shield. You fall in love.
Right.
What makes you say that you want to start moving up in ranks?
So I'll even go before I was a Black Shield. So I was working the whole time when I was going through training, and we had this really brutal water rescue call. Boat accident. Guy got hurt pretty bad, and I took the water rescue training in between taking the firefighter training. Okay. So I'm 18, don't know nothing.
Yeah.
We pull up and I'm in the water pulling this guy out. Helicopter lands, the whole nine. So after that, I was like, all right, this is something. Like
this is something that you like. Explain that training, because a lot of people don't know that, right? A lot of people, the water rescue training,
it changes yearly. The class I took to get certified back then is not the class I need now.
Not even the same one.
So pretty much the short story is the.
Do you go to FSA for it?
Yeah, FSA and New York State have a I believe, a joint thing now where they're both approved through each other. But FSA is the qualified agency to teach the water rescue courses.
Yeah.
So a lot of them have been in the pool. A lot of them, I went out to Jones Beach Coast Guard Station in January. That was fun.
Okay.
Cold.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I mean, just over the years, there's been a bunch of trainings. Now it's FSA runs it. So all the classes I have are from FSA.
And I guess even though it was cold, you have the dry suit is called.
So
because Dom was telling me about that. I learned that from him.
So
he was like, they used to use wetsuits and not anymore.
So we have dry suits across the board now, and they're multifunctional. It keeps stuff out and it keeps you warm as well.
Yeah.
What I was using during this training, I actually destroyed it. Was an ice water suit, which is just made for ice rescue.
How do you destroy that? Like
it ripped.
Oh,
it was actually fun. I almost drowned. It was great. It ripped right at my waist.
We
got
to hear the story. We got to hear what happened.
It ripped in my waist, and I started taking in water. So it holds the water out. It also keeps it in. So it started pulling me down because I had water in my hips.
Wow. And then what happened?
I grabbed onto the dock. I was like, this is bad. Guys.
Somebody help me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm going down. I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That was brand new equipment. It
just
failed. I don't know.
Man, I guess sometimes.
So now we got better suits. We got the Mustang suits. It's what everyone uses across the board for the most part.
Okay. All right. So again, we're at 18. We do that. You're training. You're doing all of this. What makes you want to now go into leadership? Because there's people that are in the firehouse that, I don't want to go into leadership. That's not for me. Yeah. What makes you want to take those steps?
I wish I had a real answer for you. I was I first wanted to run when I was 23. And actually, a couple guys, Darnell being one of them, he just became lieutenant in my firehouse, talked me out of it. I don't know why. I'm not going to badmouth anyone who did run, hypothetically.
We can badmouth Darnell on this show.
Yeah.
On this show, we can badmouth Darnell. And I know he's hearing it. We can badmouth you, Darnell.
He earned it a little bit. No, but he talked me out of it. And then a couple guys ran. And then I was like 25. I'm like, you know what? This is my time to do it. Like,
that's it.
I probably was too immature at 23, still doing,
bugging out, having a good time.
Yeah, enjoying myself a little bit too much. But 25, I was like, all right, I want to do this. This is appropriate. Like I had a good job at the time. Like, all right, this is what I want to do.
This is what you want to do. So now recently you go into being chief.
Right.
What makes you want to do that? That step is a huge step.
It's I didn't really plan an answer for this one. No, it's just pride. Like happy to be a member of Freeport. Like, been in for a long time now. Like I take pride in how our department looks.
So from captain to chief, right? So you've had that rank before.
Right.
How is that transition, right? Because you're with the same guys. You're with the same guys that's been with you since you were 23, watching you, and now you're the chief. Like how is that transition for you so far? Because you've been in chief now for
2 years.
2 years now,
2
right?
full years.
Yeah. So how is that transition?
Well, I mean, the short story is you go from, as you know, babysitting 50 guys.
There you go.
So now you babysit 300. Yeah. But no, it's just I don't know. Like I grew up in Freeport. I know you grew up in Uniondale.
Yeah.
It's important to me. I still live in Freeport. Like,
yep, same here.
When I got engaged to my future wife in 2 months, I was like, we had to live in Freeport. I want to run for chief. Like, this is a very important thing. So then we got a house together in Freeport.
Look at that.
It's
and people don't understand it. Just for my listeners, and I've said this before, when you join, the volunteer services, that makes you, it becomes a part of you. Literally, like you buy your house in this area. You could buy your house anywhere. Well, probably get more for your buck somewhere else, but you're like, I'm not leaving here.
If I'm being honest, I wouldn't know you. I'd be a completely different human if I wasn't a volunteer. So not only like the friendships I made, like going to the big Russ letdown years ago. But just my job, I wouldn't have my job. I got my job because a guy who works there referenced me, who Tim Seaman, he's my wedding party as well. Yeah. He gave me, he was my reference and helped me get the job in what I'm doing now. The job before that, the manager, I used to work at Chaminade High School. The maintenance supervisor was at my firehouse.
There you go.
Put in a good word for me. I got that job.
You got that job.
And then I wouldn't even know my fiance right now because I met her through a friend who I met from a guy from my firehouse. So like, it's just like, I have no idea where I would be without.
Isn't
funny the volunteer
without the volunteer? Yeah. It's crazy though. Just for our listeners that's listening to that are thinking about getting in or that just got in, like that's what you do. You create these lifelong bonds, and it literally shaped all of our lives.
Yeah.
And as you just heard from Lurch, it's shaped everything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know where you would be because I've met this, I've done this, and my whole life was based on that.
Just to like reiterate, like I joined the Firehouse because I was bored.
Yeah.
At 18, I had nothing going on.
No clue of what
And
could
then
happen with life.
Not that I parlayed it because these people are very close in my life. Like,
yeah.
But like the connections I made got me to
where you are now.
Career. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Lurch, 15 years. I know you got some stories, bro.
Yeah.
I know you got some stories. So what you got for me?
Well,
what you
Over
got?
50 years, Fire News has been the preferred publication for fire, rescue, and EMS heroes. Fire News print edition reaches Long Island, 17 states, and the District of Columbia. Visit firenews.com to see the latest news, read their digital prints, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram pages. In print, online, on social media, Fire News has you covered. Visit firenews.com. And if you go ahead and go visit on Instagram, please leave a comment and tell them that WRHU 88.
I was listening to Dom's and Darnell's podcast. They both talked about Sandy. They covered a lot of that. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That one fire
was insane.
I lost my boot.
So go ahead. Run us through it from the beginning.
All right, so I'll do the short story because I have another one I wanted to touch on.
Okay, cool.
So flood waters, walking through. We're the second due engine.
Mm-hmm.
I get off, the Army truck pulls past us. So all the guys in the Army truck, all good to go. They get off, get Scott packs going. I'm getting off the rig, helping hit the hydrant, all that fun stuff. They go in. The first due loses their hydrant because it's underwater. So the kid couldn't hook it up because it was underwater.
Yeah.
They were struggling to do it. They get the lines out. I take a line off my rig because we already hooked up the hydrant. We're probably 50 feet, maybe 60 feet away from the fire.
Okay.
So I stretch a line off my rig with the third due crew. And I'm walking through 2-3 feet of water. So again, water in my boots. Start making the push into the house, roaring. Boot flies off. I'm like, all right.
So now the boot's in the water.
No, the boot's in the house.
The boot's in the house.
Yeah. So and
you're just like, I gotta keep going. Like, what am I gonna do?
I'm just trying to like drag it behind me so I'm not stepping on glass and whatever. But that's that short story. But
I love that.
But
yeah, go ahead.
The craziest thing I've been involved in, New Year's Eve 2013. It was Lincoln Avenue.
First of all, for all of my listeners, that is like the beautiful start to a good story.
Yeah,
New Year's Eve 2000.
So
go ahead.
we had a designated crew because we had a party. So I was on chauffeur duty. I was a new chauffeur.
Okay.
This is probably around 24, maybe 23 years old. So I was younger.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm DD. I'm in the rig tonight. I'm driving.
Yeah.
All my buddies were on the rig, hanging out. There's like 20 of us at the Firehouse celebrating New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Attention all units. House fire.
House fire. Okay.
Multiple calls. You know all the things to tell you.
All the things to let you know. They say
to
the Firecom on the air for the
Freeport
or
Fire
the
Department.
Freeport Fire Department. Thank you, Firecom, for always letting us know it's real. I love that. But go ahead.
So, engine company is the one on headquarters Broadway.
Yep.
They beat us out. They just happened to have like 2 or 3 guys in quarters, and they were walking out. They just happened to be there.
Yeah.
They did. They pulled up. They did a fire to hydrant scenario.
Okay.
The stretch was far, so we pulled up. I wrapped a hydrant. Came in off the orders of Chief Walsh at the time.
Okay.
Come in. All right, great. Pick up the hydrant. Come in. Stretch a line.
Mm-hmm.
We're charged. We're going.
Y'all doing what you got to do.
Whole second floor is going. Whole back of the house going. First floor is going. Just
it's ripping.
Yeah. So my probie at the time goes, "Hey, there's something wrong with the hydrant." I'm like, probie. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's fine. I'm looking at my pressures. I'm great.
Yeah, good. What are you talking about?
I got 4 lines off at this point.
Wow.
And that's right about where that's probably too much.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah.
But they're like, no, this hydrant's an issue. Okay, call command. I was like, I turned the corner.
Yeah.
Look at the command. Look at the hydrant. It's twisting out the ground. So 2 and 5 was behind us. So I give the urgent. I said, I got an issue with my hydrant. I need water now. I was like, start backing out lines because if I lose, this is a big problem.
Yeah.
So 2 and 5 stretches me a line across North Main. Golden. Great. Perfect.
Okay.
As I shut down the bad hydrant, the line hose 5 gives me bursts. They're 5-inch. You know the pressure.
Wait, they're
5-inch. It didn't break at the coupling.
Yeah, I was about to say where.
It burst
in
from
the
the
canvas,
hose. Burst from the hose down, shoots up 20 feet in the air. my buddy Brian comes out, B-Red,
Yeah.
and he just had the nozzle. He put out a whole fire. He's getting our second bottle. He's like, "Oh, we're going back in."
Again.
He looks at me, looks
And
at the host. He's like, "That sucks." And turns around, runs back in. I'm like,
He's still going to work. Like, yeah, y'all
So
figure it
then-
out, man. I
So
gotta
then,
go.
luckily, there were a couple people around that weren't firemen, like the emergency company was there,
Okay.
the ambulance. So they just helped me out. They took a length from the hose that was going to the original hydrant,
Okay.
helped me swap out, and we got back in operation.
And
But
you
that-
were able to swap out and do that. No hose jackets or anything. Like, remember those
No,
old hose
no,
jacket
no,
things?
no.
That would be a scenario for it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
sure,
seen it. It's
sure
on
it
the
would.
rig.
Sure it would.
And I've never, whoever used that hose,
Yeah.
because that's what it's for. But who the hell is bringing this hose jacket out and doing that?
No, it was
You're
insane.
just going to swap this out. Stop it, boom, swap
yeah,
out, and
yeah.
you're good to
that
go.
was like the most high pressure,
yeah.
stressful situation for
Wow.
sure. Yeah.
I can imagine your face when you see that, like, what?
And by
is
the way,
going-
like not me with 15 years, me with like 5 years. Like,
like,
yeah. Like,
what
Yeah.
am I going to do
Yeah.
now? All right, before we get into another story, right, I want to ask you a little bit something that we were talking off air about was tunnels to towers.
right.
If you could just tell me a little bit, before we get into the next story, just tell me a little bit about that.
So the short story is a couple of us in Freeport, we always guest bartend at a bar called The Helm on
Okay.
Don Bardo. It's a family bar. Like they've been there for probably close to 50, 60 years. They've been around for a while.
How did they go through Sandy? Was, did
they had to
make it
redo
through?
it. They had to redo it.
everything. Like, okay.
So, so they got wiped out through Sandy, but
Yeah. They were able to come
rebuild
back.
it,
They're there,
all good.
rebuild it, and they're all good. Okay.
so a couple of us already bartended as a guest. I got just whatever, just to
yeah,
have
like
fun,
I'm just
whatever.
hanging out, just having fun.
So me and Molly's one of the managers there. Her
Okay.
and her mom own it. I was like, hey, think about doing a fundraiser because I saw someone did something very similar. I was like, what if we do guest bartending, but all the tips go to a foundation?
There you go.
So he looked it up, and I know there's a lot of foundations, fundraiser, charities that
Mhm.
they take the money and then they pay their shareholders or whatever,
Yeah,
their
yeah.
CEOs and all that. Tunnels to Towers, it's like the most they just give it right back to the people who need it.
Okay.
So yeah, the idea was every firehouse goes against each other as like a competition because
To see who
we all
can-
love that,
We do.
bragging rights and all that stuff. And yeah, we raised just over $16,000,
Wow.
and just from tips.
And
Go-
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So they invited us to their donor appreciation night. So a couple of us from the fire department and the Helm went, and it's incredible what they're doing. I started
Yeah.
to tell you earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you say
Um,
donor appreciation. What
so-
are they doing? Like,
So they gave me a 3D guided tour of their new facility. So obviously, their first priority was taking care of the families affected by 9/11.
yeah.
But now they've kind of pivoted a little bit, and they're handling the homeless crisis with our veterans.
Wow.
So they're building
Okay.
facilities all over the country right now. It's incredible.
Wow.
Wow. For veterans coming back from war who don't have a home to go to, maybe they have issues. Like we don't have to get into that.
yeah,
but
no, but
everyone
yeah,
figure- it's just
and they're there for them, giving them that support.
giving them. It's pretty much really nice, like a resort, and they have like common rooms. It's really nice. It's an apartment building. It's all over the country. That's their new.
Wow.
That's one of their missions that they're working on now, and they're popping up left and right. It's
What
really
is
great.
the website so people can know just to take a look?
I don't know off the top of my head. Tunnels to Towers.
All right, but if you
Foundation.
just go on Google and type in Tunnels to Towers,
I believe it's .org.
okay,
I believe,
tunnelstotowers.org. Okay, and then just take a look and see.
So again, we're doing that again this year. That was the first year. This is our second annual, and we're looking to do this as a regular thing.
And what's coming up this
So
week?
I myself and my chief's office will be
Okay.
guest bartending Friday at. Give me 2 seconds. I just as I text
That's
you. I
okay.
wrote it
Listen,
down. I believe it starts at 8 p.m. So
8 p.m.
February 21st. Today's
Okay.
the 16th.
Yeah.
We're going to be guest bartending at the Helm. The entire Freeport Chief's office will be
be there.
behind the bar.
All
So
right.
if anyone's listening, wants to come down,
Come
support a good
down.
cause,
Come on down. So
more than
wait,
welcome to.
now the competition.
Right.
Who won? Like who
So
got the
last-
bragging rights?
So, like I said, like that fire, Engine
Yeah.
beat us in.
Okay.
Engine also raised the most money.
They did.
You,
All
you
right.
can cut that part.
We
though.
cut that.
Yeah, you can cut that part. We
I
don't-
know they're like,
they,
yeah, that's
they
cool,
already
we
get
got it.
they already get enough flowers, but yeah. So they raised the most money by a
Okay.
lot, and it all goes to a good cause. So it's great.
Okay. All right. So I got a question for you,
Sure.
which you're not prepared for this question,
Oh,
but I
great.
got this question. It's
Great.
not too crazy.
Can't wait.
But you being Lurch, right?
Right.
This means you're super tall.
Right.
How does this affect you in a fire? I've always wanted to ask you this question.
Sucks.
You're towering over everyone, huh?
Sucks good? Or?
Yeah, no, you're
Okay,
good, you're good.
It's not fun.
Yeah, because like, how does that work? Of course, we stay low, follow the glow. But even when you're low, you're still tall.
Basement fires are my mortal enemy.
What do you do? Like, how do you even?
Duck. Well, you know, the helmet obviously adds a couple inches.
Yeah, so you got the helmet,
boots.
you got the boots that's giving you about this much.
Yeah.
So you're already tall. So like, how do you even?
There's places I can't fit.
You just like, yo, I can't get in.
Well, no, I sent Mike Gordon. You had him on too. Yeah.
Bring him in like everybody.
Chief Mike Gordon.
Chief Mike Gordon in there. I was like, yo, I gotta ask Lurch that. Like, how does he get in?
Basement fires aren't fun.
It's not. I can imagine, yo. Even on all the way down, you're
supposed to be crawling anyway. So that's, you get as low as you can.
Your crawl is taller than everyone else's crawl.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah,
it's rough. All right. So, got a question for you.
Go ahead.
If you could give me something right now that you'd want to debunk about firefighting, what would it be?
So I actually ran this by Dom.
Okay.
So he's right. We got a ton of automatic alarms, a lot of nonsense. But one thing we do as well, like I started speaking at water rescue. Yeah. We go to everything. Hazmat, like you think like person trapped in an elevator, like the volume of calls we go to and the nature of different calls we go to. If a boat's like this year, a boat was sinking off Long Beach.
And that's
Freeport Fire Department.
Yeah. That's crazy because you think Freeport literally has it all, right?
But this is off the beach. This isn't even like in the
so
bay.
this is not even over there, and they're calling you, right?
Yep.
So you're literally, like you said, you're doing everything.
So if there's, let's say, National Grid worker or like electric department worker is in a hole underground electric, and something happens, they're calling us.
Calling you to go get them.
We do everything. So like even scratch. I was gonna say there's something for everyone in the fire department. Yeah, it's a short story.
Yeah, there's always something. We'll figure out something.
And you can also learn a lot and get certificates for a lot of this stuff. Yeah, like it's incredible the amount of training you're capable of getting just for free in the volunteer fire department.
Certificates that in training, which all then go to credits, right?
College
you
credits.
Can use college credits for this. So it's not just, yes, you got the training, but you can also use it.
I have like 70 college credits. I didn't graduate.
But you got all the college credits because you've taken all these courses. No, you're good. So I got another question about like camaraderie. How do you, now that you're chief, right? How do you keep everybody together? Like, you know how the firehouse is. One day everyone's upset, everyone's not upset. This is how do you maintain that camaraderie with everybody?
Being chief, and if I'm being completely honest, I need to do this more. It's just you gotta be with the guys. They gotta know that you're there with them. Like even when guys have trainings, I try to do it, but I got a business.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way a lot.
And you got your own company stuff and all of that.
But when guys are doing drills, like let's say a company you don't usually hang out with. Let's just make up a name like no. If you know they're doing a drill, pop in. Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Just hang out with them, talk to them, see how they feel about certain things, because that they want to know that you care. You're not just a hose one chief or a truck chief or an engine chief. Like you're a department chief.
There you go.
So that's if I'm being honest, I need to do a little more. Okay. But that's what I think the difference between being a captain. Because you don't need to connect with your guys when you're captain.
You're already connected. You're there because
you break bread. Being chief, you got to be more available to other guys. Like my phone's always on. I tell guys there's an issue, I'd rather handle it one-on-one, man-to-man, and instead of like yelling about it later when there's an incident going on. Like,
let's talk about it right then and
there. That's be available is what.
Just be available. So that's how you get that camaraderie and do that. Be available. Kind of go down and meet the guys. I mean, not that you don't know them, but know them on that level.
You know how it is too. If you're in a engine too.
Yeah.
If truck 4 gets a new guy, you're not really gonna know him.
I'm not gonna know him at all. Like I might see him at
me as being a chief. I gotta know who that guy. I gotta know who I'm working with.
Yeah. You're right. Yep. He needs to know you. You need to know him, and he needs to trust you. So I get that. All right. So, what other stories you got for me? Got any other stories?
I mean, how long do we got?
Listen, we got time. We got it. What other stories you got?
The water rescue one was a very impactful one. This was being 18 pup. Okay. That was something. We've had a couple fires where it's just like
talk to me.
So,
what you got?
We had one fire election night. I wasn't chief. I was maybe captain, going into captain. So this would be 2017, 18, around then.
Okay.
house fire, garage fire comes over, attached to the house, single tense transmitted. The guy had welding tanks in his garage. So the settling,
Wow.
yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, he worked on his bike.
Okay,
it
all right,
it wasn't like
okay.
crazy, but he had his own little shop in his garage.
Yeah.
So that took off.
Yeah, I
And-
can imagine.
And the first two engines pulling up, it was engine company and hose one simultaneously pulling up.
Okay.
Everyone got off the rig was an officer.
Everybody. Okay,
So my first assistant chief now, Anthony, is
Okay.
captain of engine.
okay.
I think I was first lieutenant or captain of hose one, whatever. Who
Okay.
cares? He takes the nozzle, I back him up. I'm like, this is wrong,
This is
but here we
there
go.
you
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
And then finally, once the other engine company started pulling up, you got a couple Class A guys. Like, obviously, but for
Yeah.
people that don't know, the officer's job is to lead the line in.
Of course.
not
Yep.
bring the line in.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But when you only have the first 6 guys pulling up are all officers,
Then
you
hey,
figure out what you gotta
someone's
do.
got to do the job. Someone's got to be the control, whether you
So
like it or
that
not.
was- making a push into that was fun. And it was just it wasn't a free for all, but there was officers everywhere. It's like, all
But
right, we get to play. We get to play a little bit.
Yeah,
that's
the
all.
good thing about that is the knowledge that's coming off. That's
Yeah.
coming off that rig. Like everybody knows their job and knows what to do.
Yeah.
You know this is gonna be a
Yeah.
smooth one. Like you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you got
I mean,
experienced
nothing
guys
is
as opposed
smooth.
to-
We don't never know, but still, you have more confidence then
Yeah.
when it's like everyone getting off officers. It's like, all right, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Now it's just like who's getting the nozzle.
Yeah, there was another one. We're going to a fire. Hose 3 was behind us. It's up northeast.
Okay.
And one of the cheat codes is if you're going northeast, you can actually cut their train station.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm driving. I'm in front of hose 3. I'm very
Uh-huh.
happy about this. We're gonna be first in. I cut through a train station. Bus pulls out in front of me. Hose 3 cuts through the train station. Goes down the wrong way.
It goes out the wrong way.
They wave to me as they drive past. They're like, see you later.
See ya,
Yeah.
bye. He said the bus come in, they go the wrong way.
Yeah.
I know they were pissed.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I
I went.
love that.
I got cut. They went around me
And then they went around you.
because the bus pulls
Oh,
in
so
front
the
of
bus
me.
cut you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay,
then
okay.
they go the opposite way, and they see us happen, and as they
Uh-huh.
drive by, they give me a nice wave.
Well, shout out to them. Shout out to
Yeah,
them
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Shout out to them.
That's how you build camaraderie.
There you
Let
go.
'em
That's how you let them know. Shout out to. All right. So before we get into some more questions, we got to get into the game called the flashover. All right, Chief, are you ready for the flashover?
Sure, why not?
We change this up a little bit, right?
Okay.
Because we have a couple of questions. We usually talk, flashover. I'm going to ask you 2 things, right?
Right.
Android, Apple. You got to tell me which one, right? But the difference here is we're going to talk about TV shows and movies, right?
Right.
But I got a little twist to it. I added some stuff
Of
to
course,
it.
of course.
I added some stuff to it. So nobody really knows yet of all the stuff because I don't think that these episodes came out yet. I think I've asked Dom some of them.
Okay.
But are you ready, Chief, for the flashover?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Drive the rig during a parade or drive the chief truck.
For parades?
For a parade, you're the chief. Obviously, you're going to have to walk. But if you
Yeah.
could
Oh,
have,
it's the rig.
you want to drive the rig.
No kids get excited seeing a Chiefs car. Right? They get
That's
excited
right.
to see the fire truck.
There
Come
we
on.
go. All right. With that said,
Right.
right? Because we know you're the chief, so you're walking,
Right.
right? If you had a choice,
Right.
a calendar photo shoot
Oh, boy.
or walk in that parade 100 degrees and, of course, full Class A, what you doing?
What kind of calendar are we talking?
This is a calendar. This is the Lurch calendar. With
I'll sweat. I need to lose a couple
You'll
pounds. I'll sweat.
You'll sweat it
We're
out.
good.
You'll sweat it
No
out.
big
All
deal.
right. Brush fire or rockin' dumpster fire? You don't have the big Russ. You don't have the big Russ.
They're not great. Yeah, both aren't the best.
Both are,
aren't
but you
fun.
got to pick one. Which one? Brush fire, rockin' dumpster fire.
I guess brush because it's more. Yeah, brush.
Brush.
Yeah.
Brush fire. Okay.
No one likes burning garbage.
Nobody.
Yeah.
All right. And you already kind of talked about this, but when I ask anyway, basement fire or warehouse fire?
Yeah, it's my nightmare. It's basement fire.
So you're not trying to hear
But warehouse fire is a lot more dangerous.
That's
or
what I was
can
going to say.
be more dangerous.
A lot
yeah.
more. You can get lost in there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Oceanside had one a couple years ago actually, and almost
Yeah.
turned south real quick.
Yeah.
I'll take the basement.
You'll take the
I'll just
basement fire
duck.
even though you
I'll
can't
just
fit
crouch.
in there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
crouch down.
Hit my head a couple times. It's no big deal.
All right. This is a good one.
Right.
As a chief, this is a good one because you know, and just being the time that you've been in, you know that this could become serious. A confirmed car fire
Right.
or an automatic alarm with a light smoke condition. Which one you doing?
Ooh. No,
Right?
you got-
This is confirmed.
you gotta
And I'm going to throw in a little piece. It's a confirmed 2-car Car fire.
I'll take the structure all day.
You're taking it all day. Automatic alarm, though, but light smoke condition, so you don't know what it is.
Exactly.
And you're the chief. They're like, which one you going to? All right, well, which one I'm taking,
I'll
chief?
take the mystery box.
You're taking the mystery
door
box.
number 2. Yeah.
All right. At the installation dinner,
Right.
you are the chief.
Okay.
But you got to sit either with the commissioners. Well, you don't really have.
Village,
you don't
baby.
have commissioners. That's
Village.
right. So that's right. So
No
I really
commissioners,
can't
no.
even ask this question to you.
No
All right.
commissioners.
The question was, do you want to sit with the commissioners or the probies? All right. For you,
You know the answer to that.
What do you? Well, I guess for you, do you want to sit with the Chiefs or you want to sit with the probies?
Probably.
You
Oh,
said-
no. I like my Chiefs.
You like your Chiefs,
Yeah. We got a good crew.
Got a good crew.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So you do that. Some people want to sit
Nobody
with the
likes
probies because it's just
commissioners,
fun sitting with the probies
Yeah,
sometimes. All right. All right. So another question. 2 hours before a department critique, right? And you're not the chief anymore. You're the captain of your house. 2 hours before, let's say everyone got there. You're there at 8 o'clock. Your critique is at 10. You're all there. Do you have the guys do training for the 2 hours or clean the house?
I think any chance you can get a decent training in, you do it.
Do the training.
Even if it's just crawling around underneath the rig or
So you're like,
whatever.
2 hours, we're going to get in here and start doing some training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, so now let's get to these movies. Are you ready? We're going to get to these movies and TV
I got
shows.
a curveball for you.
All right, let's go. Chicago Fire, Rescue Me.
Rescue me.
Rescue Me, Third Watch.
Rescue me.
Rescue Me again. Backdraft, Ladder 49.
Rescue me. Everyone. All right. Here's the thing with that question. Everyone answers Backdraft.
Everybody.
It's a cult classic.
It is.
Ladder 49 is like, if you're gonna go like, what's more realistic? It's
Okay.
not.
That's what everyone was saying.
I'm not turning. No one's turning off Backdraft.
No, you're just not. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if he's standing up and he's walking through the fire with his shirt open. I'm
running-
still watching it.
The running joke is when I walk in the firehouse, someone has it on. I'm like, all right, you guys fill out a LoSAP sheet for this. You gotta do it. This is a training.
This
It's a training.
is a training.
Yeah,
This is
this
a
is how
training.
it's done.
I love that. Yo.
Yeah.
I love that. But now on, we're filling out a freaking
Yep.
training slip every time we have
What was the training?
Backdraft on.
Backdraft.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, now, my boy Lurtz, the most important question I'm going to ask you, and I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Engine or truck?
Come on.
Talk
Come
to
on.
me.
Come on.
Let's go.
Nah.
Gotta say it.
Engine, dude.
There we
All
go.
day.
Engine all day, baby. Boom, boom, boom.
Just a hose grunt. Bring
That's
the
it.
hose in, put the fire out.
Put it. That's it. Put the wet stuff on the red stuff, baby. All right.
You know what they say.
What?
My truck cuts a hole in the roof
There you go. Why?
to watch
To
the
watch
real
the
men
real
work.
firemen
Yeah.
work. They're watching. These truckers are
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be pissed
yeah.
off at us. We had somebody in here
What
say,
what else
fire,
is new?
fire versus finder fire.
Yeah.
They were pissed. All right. So, on, I guess not too serious, but just serious. Like, in a whole, how has being in, the volunteer fire department changed your life? I mean, we kind of talked about it, but, if you could sum it up, like, how has it changed your life?
Everything. It's me more part of my community, it's just the friendships, my entire wedding party,
It's
with
all
the exception of one guy, and he's a Merrick fireman, is in my
It's
firehouse.
in the firehouse.
And actually, my best man isn't too. He moved out to California, but
Okay.
everyone else is
Is
in my
in-
firehouse.
Is in the firehouse.
Like, so when my fiance met my friends, I was like, "Oh,
Shout her out. We got
Johanna.
Johanna,
She's
what's
gonna
up,
listen to
Johanna?
it. She's excited. She,
You married a good guy. You're
I'm-
marrying a good guy.
I was like, "Can I have some friends over?" She's like, "Yeah, whatever. We'll have some friends over, whatever." And former chief Kenny Vancott, all 50 freaking years old, walks in. She goes, "What the hell?" Like, yeah, this is my friend. He's
This
like,
is my friend.
He's bald. Like, actually, this was a couple years ago, so that's more common now. Anyways, but like.
But
She's like,
yeah,
he's 50 years old. And then Tim, in my wedding party, he's in his 40s. She's like, "These are your friends?" I'm like, "Yeah, these
which
are my
is
guys."
dope. These are
Yeah.
your guys, and they
Yeah.
could be 50, 60-year-old
And
guys.
it
And these
doesn't-
are. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter when they were 30 and I was 18. We were
You're still like this.
or when
You know what?
When I was
I love
21.
that.
When I was 21.
Yeah.
Then when
There
go
you
out,
go.
yeah. Of course, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you said that because that's something that no one ever touched on yet in this show, or I don't even know if people talk about that. Like, your friends become people. Like, age doesn't matter anymore. Like, you're not even thinking like this guy is 60 years old and I'm 30.
Yeah.
This is my guy.
Kenny's daughter's 7 years younger than me.
And y'all are out
Yeah.
pounding them back together.
Yeah,
And
hanging
it's
out,
like-
having a good time. Yeah.
You gotta love that, and that's what you get, in the services,
Yeah.
like in the volunteer service, in the firehouse, like you get that
And
camaraderie.
I never even thought about it until she said it. It was the funny part.
and that's why
Yeah.
you saying it right now made
Yeah,
me think
yeah.
about it. Like, yeah, you're right. Some of my good friends are 20 years older than
Speaking
me.
of which, I forgot to ask you, how's my guy Chief Skelly doing?
Oh, he's got. See, that's
He's the
another
man.
one. Chief
He's the
Skelly.
man.
That's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of my literally.
Yeah.
I swear, I always tell my wife if anything ever happened to us. that's who's going to take my
Yeah.
kids. Like, I'm going to literally say, I need John to take my kids. Like, that's my boy. And John is like 30 years older than me.
He's the man.
He's the
the
man.
absolute
John is the man, yo.
I got one more story that
Let's
it's
do
about
it.
you, actually.
Oh, okay.
Where did you have your captain's dinner?
Ah.
That was I thought I was getting got. That night.
So I'm glad he kind of brought this up. So my captain's dinner, which I did purposely because I thought it was going to be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I had my captain dinner at Dave & Buster's purposely because I wanted everyone to walk through Dave & Buster's in full Class A, and I thought it was hilarious.
So I came 10 minutes late because of whatever reason. I'm walking in Class A. All these little kids are like, what the heck is going on? I was like, I'm getting got. This is a joke.
Wow, this is hilarious.
This is a joke.
I forgot all about that.
Thank God
man.
I saw Kevin Hicks.
Yeah.
The UFC fight was on. So he was
so everyone's catching
I was
that.
like, oh, thank God. All right. So
Yeah,
I'm not the only person in
place.
Class A.
I wanted everyone. And the way for people that don't know, Dave & Buster's over by us and here, in the beginning, like when you walk in, especially if you're walking from the front entrance, it's all the games there.
Yep,
and then the actual hall where you can sit back is all the way in the back.
Yep.
So you literally got to walk through all the kids playing all the games.
100 yards? 150 yards?
A good 150 yards, full Class A. Everyone's looking like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be hilarious.
I thought I was getting pranked. I was like, he got me.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so before I get out of here, got another question for you, right?
Shoot.
If there's somebody that's listening right now and they're thinking about joining or they're in and they don't know if they want to stay, what type of advice would you want to give them?
Try it. Give it a shot because it's definitely not for everyone. Like there's been as many guys have come in the years. A lot of guys came in, didn't like it, whatever, didn't work out, and left.
True.
But you're not gonna know if you don't give it a shot. Like I said, I'm sure not the only person who says this. Like it completely changed my life, and that's not just me trying to be like a little soppy about it. But I wouldn't know my fiance. I wouldn't have the job I have. I wouldn't have my wedding party the way like it's. The relationships I made in the last 15 years it's incredible, and just I recommend everyone give it a shot. Even like
just try.
Well, even the guys who did it years ago and then they move or relocate. Like if I ever relocate, it's something I think I'd have to rejoin the Firehouse.
Yeah.
It's part of me that's
there.
I can't imagine
not having
getting a full night's sleep. It'd be insane. That's not possible. We don't do
Isn't
that.
that crazy?
Yeah, but no, I'd recommend just give it a shot because it's definitely not for everyone. But some people excel at it, and it's changed my life in a positive way for sure.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. My boy Lurch, thank you for coming down, man. Thank you for coming
down.
Man.
Long time.
Right? Long time.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm forgetting?
No, the Dave & Buster's thing.
That is
thank God I remembered that.
That is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
We have to put some pictures up somewhere up here, like
sure.
so people can see. It was really funny to have them walk through in Class
If
A.
I can just go through one more time with the.
Yep. So I wanted to actually go there about the tunnels to towers. So
it's called Freeport Battle of the Firehouses, fundraiser for Tunnels Towers. It's at the Helm on Gombard on Freeport, just south of Front Street. Okay. So if you're going to the Nautical Mile, don't make the right. Go straight. The Helm's right there. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Big sign.
Date and everything? Date time?
Well, so every firehouse is bartending. So I'll run through the dates real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
February 21st, the chief's office of the Freeport Fire Department is guest bartending at the Helm.
Okay.
March 1st, Hose 3.
This is on the flyer, right? That's on there? All right, we're going to post it up right here, so keep going.
March 1st is Hose 3. March 8th was Engine. They had to reschedule. Unfortunately, they had a member pass away, and that's when the wake is. But when I get the info, I'll pass it on to you, and you can post it.
Okay.
March 22nd, Hose 4. March 29th, my company, my brothers, Hose 1.
There you go.
April 5th, Hose 2. April 19th, Hose 5. Shout out Hose 5. They just had 2-on-5 day last night.
There you go. Okay.
And May 2nd, Truck Company.
There we go. All right, and we're going to post it here so people can see it up there.
Fantastic.
It'll be like somewhere in this area.
Appreciate
and then we'll actually have it on the Instagram too, so everybody will be able to see it, and we'll make sure we put it in there. We'll put it at the end of other people's shows just so we can make sure we get it out.
I'm not sure if I said it on the show. We made almost $17,000 for Tunnels Towers last year, and just tips. So the way we're raising money is we'll bartend, we'll serve. Whatever tips you want to give, that goes directly to Tunnels Towers. We don't touch anything. It's directly to them.
I love that. There we go. Listen, again, brother, thank you for coming down, man. Thank you so much for coming down. This is going to be a good show, man. This is going to be a good show. All right. We have just heard from my boy Lurch. Can I say your actual name? Yeah. Should I say it? It's Chief Christopher Burkart. Can I say it like that?
Yeah, you nailed it.
But but it's still Lurch, from Hose 1 Freeport Fire Department, about his life as a firefighter. I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of those things. I am your host, Chris Moses, and please tune in next week to another great conversation here in the Firehouse.